So I read this research, I believe it was by Dan McAdams, and he talks about 3 levels of intimacy. You ever heard this concept? It is why I suggested that question, what's your deepest fear? What he found is we get stuck in these levels. And so he found there are 3 levels of intimacy between people. This isn't even in cues, it's just what I use. The first level is called general traits. He calls it general traits. It's like why we get stuck in like, so what do you do? Where are you from? Right? It's occupation, age, gender. We get stuck there. We can't get out of it. That's why you have people who are like...
Gender?
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that's why I think that if people are... that's why a lot of now we're saying like he, she, or like we're saying our pronouns. That actually helps us get past level 1 in a weird way. It's like actually answering that. It's called, I call it the hierarchy of facts. Our brain actually has to learn the basics before it can go deep. And so those are some of the basics. The second level is what he calls personal concerns. Personal concerns, this is the level I like to live at. This is like motivations, values. This is like what gets you up in the morning, what drives you, what excites you. It's why the questions I often suggest are working on anything exciting recently? Or what's your hobby these days? That's why I asked you about the marketplace, right? Like it's values, it's motivations, what drives you. The last level, the level that we don't even get to with some people who are closest in our life, is called self-narrative. And self-narrative is the story that you tell yourself about yourself. And so that, if you know someone's story about themselves, the story they're telling themselves about themselves, that's what helps you predict behavior and understand them deeply. And so I think that when you ask someone, what's your deepest fear, and they're willing to try to answer it for you, they are giving you a clue into level 1, 2, and 3. Right, so like I don't even know in the hours that we've spent together on camera and off camera if I've ever shared anything like that with you, that I've allowed toxic people into my life and that, you know, almost destroyed me and that held me back for a really long time. And I didn't stand up for myself. I don't think that's ever come out, but that question unlocked it. And that is part of my self-narrative. And that's the story I tell myself when I'm driving to this interview, when I leave today, when I'm thinking about an Instagram story. It's like it all goes back to that story. So like that's my goal in a lot of my interactions is, okay, yeah, let's blow through level 1. I don't care what you do. Let's go to level 2 at least. What do you value? What motivates you? And if I can, like what drives you? What's the story you tell yourself?